Tesla is a ticking time bomb, and today we're opening up the hood on the price action. We're going beyond the basic candlesticks to track the institutional footprint. Are the big banks buying the dip or offloading into the hype? We'll also be looking at the point of control that will act as an ultimate safety net, and I'm going to show you the exact level where the trend flips from bullish dream to fundamental nightmare. You cannot afford to be on the right side of this trade. So without further ado, let's get into the charts. Now before we start off, we know that manual research is too slow for this market. That's why we built TickerFlow AI. It's our private platform that gives you institutional grade data and AI-driven signals in seconds. While others pay hundreds of dollars for these tools, you can access the app, our weekly masterclasses, and our top 3 trades of the week for just $15 a month. Our 500 plus members are already looking in alpha, and right now you can join them 100% risk-free with a 7-day free trial. So first of all, let's look at the overall time frame here, the hourly of Tesla. We can see that our custom algorithm here has detected that the trend has been bullish, and the perfect opportunity to buy was exactly on the 3rd of December of 2025 when it transitioned from bearish to bullish trend. Now, this overall algorithm works by seeing where the price action is currently relative to the overall 200 EMA. We can see here that during the sell-off from the high that was formed on the 3rd of November of 2025, we were pretty much below it and it was bearish, right? So we wouldn't have bought here. Now, when the price action went above the level, such as here, right? And then all we had to do was wait for our overall signal to switch from bearish to bullish exactly at this point, and Tesla has been nothing but going towards the upside and is actually up 12% from that day in pretty much 14 days. Now, what I want to acknowledge here is that Tesla is looking quite bullish compared to the rest of the Max 7. Over the past couple of months, we've been seeing some concerns over the AI bubble valuations, especially on Nvidia, which has been seeing as well very downward declines. If we look, for example, on Nvidia, currently this stock is bearish as we have had our overall trend algo signal that it's been of sell since the 13th of November of 2025. When this does convert to a bullish signal, just like here, we'll be looking long on Nvidia and you'll be the first to find out. But going back towards Tesla, the stock has been seeing nothing but intense upside, and I do see the stock going all the way towards a level of 531 as my current price target on this overall trade. Now you may be asking why. Well, we are above this area of resistance. We came back, tested it, and we bid up even higher. We're also above a key area of resistance with a lot of volume coming in here. So if you look at this volume pocket right here, this is where we've been seeing an increase, very exponential of the buying volume, right? This whole upside trend that initiated here all the way towards the upside saw this immense increase in the buying volume, which is what we want to see. Now it's kind of consolidating, right? So we had a very strong move and we're kind of consolidating a little bit here, digesting the price action, but I still believe there's more upside. Now, even using, let's say, the under indicator like the fixed range volume profile, which I will use, select from this high towards the current level, the buyers have had control since the break above the level of $446,021, which is where the buyers have remained in control. Like I said, Tesla is still looking bullish here. Now, if we transition towards, let's say, the 30-minute time frame, we are seeing even more bullishness being priced in. As, for example, this pocket of volume around this zone, this is where we're finding our resistance because there is still some liquidity that is being present here, and there's pretty much like a battle going on between the buyers and the sellers to see who will remain in control of this overall trend. But I am very happy to see that Tesla broke above that level right here, this pocket of volume, which is where most of the volume has been occurring between the buyers and sellers, and we've been holding quite well. Now let's go towards the RSI. Using the RSI indicator, we do see that Tesla is still relatively undervalued as we are not towards the highs of 70. Even going towards the 1 hour chart again, we are not oversold at all, and we are actually looking to form a double bottom exactly at this level here, right? Even a higher low. So this does show trend structure. We're also trying to cross back above the 14 EMA, so I'll probably make that a little bit brighter and sharper for you guys right here, make it probably thicker like that. So this does show that the overall underlying buyers are looking to, in a way, remain their bullish bets here on Tesla. Now, we do see that the majority of the Max 7 names are starting to see this overall overbought level, right? which kind of occurred here on Tesla, right? This is where we kind of saw a bit of a warning sign. We sold off a little bit, but we are pretty much higher from that level because our RSI has been very, very strong. Now, I would be concerned if Tesla is at these highs and the RSI would be somewhere around here. This would be very, very concerning because it would show us that maybe it's not the perfect time to buy. But I believe now after these pullbacks, it has shown very, very intense upside momentum, and it may be a good idea to buy. Also, for further confidence, we can add an overall anchored VWAP from the break and retest. So for example, right here, and I would expect Tesla, if it's going to pull back exactly towards this overall zone, which would we see something like this, right? So maybe some more consolidation in the price action. We do this, we undercut the level, and then we start to bounce, right? Form a higher low formation like that, and we bid up, right? We could even possibly later on put an overall anchored VWAP at, let's say, the overall high right here, and it would follow this, it would break above it, right? See some retest, and then further continuation again towards the level of 531, which is going to be my final price target on Tesla. I'm completely bullish on this trade, and my conviction is extremely positive. Now, transitioning towards a 5-minute chart here and focusing more towards a day trade, we can see that today here, Friday, December 19th, Tesla was actually detected to be red. This does show that the overall, since the open, the stock should have been shorted thanks to our algorithm that detected this, right? So the profit targets would have been here the first pivot and S1, which is where we see that is where the volume came in and buyers found that support. Generally, we have noticed that when a stock does go towards its overall pivot point, which would be, say, this, it sometimes does not go exactly towards a level. We have to remember that pivot points tend to be a general area or a zone instead of a precise exact level. So this pretty much did make sense that Tesla would overall find support here at around 474 and 83 cents. Now, the strategy here would be the following. So using the current action here from the pre-market ever since 1 in the morning all the way towards the open at around 6:25 Pacific Standard Time or 9:25 Eastern Time, we see that there is an overall trend structure, right? There seems to be here an area of support, so I'll mark that as overall green to signify the buyers, and overall an anchored here, which would be the high of the day. Right, so we see that there was an open and we reject the high, right? So this was an overall signal that the stock was going to be an easy short, because if it would have been a bullish trend from the initiation, we would have seen a break, right, of that level test and then higher continuation, just like the previous day on Thursday, just so we saw, right? So we had a high right here, right, and then this high, we broke it, definitively, right? And then we continued even higher throughout the day here on Tesla yesterday, Thursday, December 18th. But today was actually quite different. And then to even add more confluence, we failed below. We broke below this area of support here, which was the overall anchor or $486 level. And this prompted even further downside here, and you could have held, taking some profits. And ideally, the best time to enter these trades are going to be at the initiation of the break, exactly here, or when we do see some type of, bounce, and then you short those pops, right? So when we see a bounce, you short it. Same thing here. You see a bounce, you short it, right? And that would have been, here as well, another initiation of the trend, or even you could even add into your positions, right? So there tends to be different type of structures and ways to trade this name. Generally, what I like to do here is I like to be biased one side and not generally switch it. So I would have gone short here. I would have initiate, let's say, a very large position, take some profit here, and then if I want to add more, I add on the pops, short, and then add on the pops again, keep shorting it, and then take my full profit when I do see that there's an overextension here, let's say an overall oversold level, right? And then this is where we saw the bounce here on Tesla, right, towards the upside, the next pivot point, and we rejected the prior area, which was supposed to be support, right? We failed it, so now this was going to act as a level of resistance, and we actually closed below it here. We're looking to close below it here on the day here on Tesla, around $482.30 per share on Tesla. So you guys saw my intraday strategy for a 5-minute time frame, and like I said, Tesla is looking over on the hourly very bullish, but on the intraday today was looking quite bearish, and we could have shorted the name here at a price entry of around $486 here on Tesla. Whether you're a bull or a bear, these technical levels are a GPS to the volatility. Don't trade the emotion, trade the price action. Now let me know down in the comment sections below, is the robotaxi news enough to ignore the regulatory threats, or are we headed into a massive correction for Tesla? Drop your price targets below, and I'll be jumping in to apply to the best ones. As always, stay sharp and don't let the markets whip you guys out. I'll see you guys on the next one.